I guess we'll begin with the leader of the Republican Party, who's doing it from Florida, Donald Trump, who has demanded, he said it's the last chance to stop the political prosecutions against him, meaning the funding the government and the requirement, which has to begin in the House. He wants that to include defunding Jack Smith and the special prosecutor, and the investigations against him. And if not, he says, shut the government down. Your thoughts?
Right. So, look, we've been talking about these extremist Republicans in the House of Representatives for several months now as they keep making different demands. And every time some demands are met by Kevin McCarthy, they change what their demands are. And a lot of people think, well, you know, they just don't know what they want. They know exactly what they want. They want to do whatever they can to help Donald Trump. And that means right now, shut down the government because it will impose pain on the American people. It will be damaging to the U.S. economy, and it will undermine us all around the world. And they believe, and Donald Trump believes, that that advances the likelihood that Donald Trump will be elected in 2024. So all of this has real purpose to it. The scary part is that so far, Kevin McCarthy is letting them run the country and move us in a direction of a government shutdown that really will do real damage to Americans, to people all around the world.
You know, it seems so far that Senate Republicans have been very hands-off in all of this, despite all of the catastrophic implications of a government shutdown, which will hurt their states just as much as it'll hurt Republicans' districts in the House and Democrats' districts. Is there a plan B? Because spending bills obviously must emerge from the House. But is there some conversation about what to do if they shut the government down? What then?
You know, this is the problem. It takes both houses of Congress, the House and the Senate, to agree on a spending bill, whether it's a short term or whether it's the overall budget for next year, in order to keep the government funded. There's no way around the decision that Kevin McCarthy has to make about whether he leaves a handful of extremists in charge who are just hell-bent on imposing pain on the American people so that Donald Trump can improve his chances of getting elected in 2024, or whether Kevin McCarthy is going to say enough of this. I've got plenty of other Republicans, plus a lot of Democrats, who would vote in favor of a reasonable spending bill just to keep the government up and running, keep our economy going, and keep us doing the actual business of the government. That's what we should be doing.